Good day, Ma'am. I'm Desiree P. Kagat-Kagat, 19 years old. The president that I'd chosen is Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Why should I vote Bongbong Marcos as president? First is, Bongbong Marcos is the most qualified candidate among us all. I don't underestimate into others, but Bongbong is the most qualified and experienced candidate to govern this country today compared to the other candidates. When I saw some of his interview, he's so smart to answer the questions. Even some people who interviewed to him had bias but still defending and answer those questions. Bongbong Marcos is skipping some of the presidential debates because of repeating the question. Among the controversies that Bongbong Marcos is facing in his candidacy is the history with his father, the late President and dictator Ferdinand Marcos Sr., who has been criticized over issue of corruption and human rights violation during his term. Bongbong Marcos said it's better to give opportunity to talk about the present and to talk about the future because that is what is the people's minds. Marcos Jr. has previously been criticized for declining some major presidential debates and forums attended by his fellow presidential candidates. Marcos Jr. first declined the interview with veteran journalist Jessica Soho, whom he called biased. Marcos also skipped the presidential forum organized by the TVP. Marcos Jr. likewise skipped the debates organized by media network CNN Philippines. Marcos Jr., however, attended the debates organized by media network SMNI. Other presidential candidates, Senator Panfilo Lacson, Esco Moreno, Senator Manny Pacquiao, and Vice President Leni Robredo did not attend the SMNI debates. Who is Bongbong Marcos? What to know about next President of Philippines? Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., who is set to become the President of the Philippines after winning the elections, comes to the job with a controversial family history. He is the son of a dictator who was embroiled in corruption and human rights violations, and was ousted after 2 decades in power in the Southeast Asian nation. His family's popularity saw a recent resurgence largely driven by social media. Marcos Jr., 64 years old, is the only son of Ferdinand Marcos, who ruled over the Philippines from 1965 to 1986. His father wanted Bongbong Marcos to enter politics. While being the son of a political heavyweight, came with its own perks in his 20s. He was already governor in their home province of Ilocos Norte, about 440 kilometers north of the Manila. His family's fall from power led him to flee to the US. After returning to the Philippines in 1991, following the death of his father, Marcos has experienced mixed political fortunes. He won a congressional seat and became governor again, but lost his first attempt for a position elected nationwide a 1995 race for the Senate before winning a seat in 2010. In 2016, he narrowly lost out in his bid for Vice President to Leni Robredo, his main rival in the just included presidential race, then unsuccessfully posted the results. About the father of Bongbong Marcos, his father declared martial law in 1972. Thousands were killed or disappeared and many more were tortured or suffered other human rights violations. Bongbong Marcos even changing the events that happened during his father's administration. In 2022, Philippine presidential election was held on Monday, May 9, 2022, as part of the 2022 general election. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. is the new elected as a president. Let's clap his victory instead bashing him. I'm one of the 31 million who vote Bongbong Marcos. Let God bless us and stop all negative against him.